August 3rd, 2009. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 72.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Pause.
For effect.
Well, welcome back to...
Let that ident sink in.
Yeah. So, welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. I am one of your hosts, Murdock.
Don't I am one of your hosts. Just I am Murdock.
And,
if you want to talk to Murdock, though.
And I will introduce my co-host here by, I don't know, Girth. Is it Girth of Beard? What's the... I don't know.
Fluffiness.
Fluffiness? Is it fluffiness?
That's not very manly.
Yeah.
I'm going to go by the Grizzly Adams scale.
The Grizzly Adams scale. So we have John.
Who has no beard at all.
He's a very wimpy grizzly.
We have...
By the Grizzle scale.
And then Grizzle. Isn't he that character? Isn't he the character from CSI?
No.
Okay.
No,
If
that's
he's
Grissom.
if he's not a hot chick, then I'm not paying attention to anybody on that show.
And we have Steve, and then we have Brian, who has quite a beard going on there.
Well, 3 weeks of not giving a shit, really. It just kind of does its own thing.
You know, you can give a shit without having a beard.
Or you could not give a shit
Oh, yeah.
while not having a beard.
Yeah, that's true.
Your modifiers there are kind of screwed up.
The dangling.
But now he'll be able to carve intricate designs into his face.
Well, not only that, but he can probably make animal shapes out of logs with a chainsaw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that. It looks so cool.
This is a squirrel. You'll just have to trust me. It's a squirrel.
The chainsaw says so.
I think the chainsaw's right.
Yeah. Chainsaw's never wrong. If you learn anything watching a horror movie, the chainsaw's never wrong.
It is when it gets stuck in the zombie.
Well,
Then it's wrong.
that's just maintenance.
On the zombie?
No, you got to clean the thing after so many uses.
So can you carve zombies into animal shapes?
Maybe.
You know, they could make a movie out of that.
Sometimes they end up in animal shapes when you're done, but I don't think it's really intentional.
Well, we've created a new horror franchise, so we will be selling it to Hollywood at some point. Meanwhile, Steve is getting over what
Dying.
H1N1 or
Yeah,
something.
or something.
You got something caught in the beard.
Yeah. My beard wasn't long enough to
It-
strain
It
it.
didn't filter it. The viruses were way too much for the beard.
Damn beard.
The one nice thing about beards, and maybe it's the fallback too, is that you sometimes catch seconds. And you forget they're still there. 2 hours later, you're like, oh, I missed something. Hey, and it still tastes good.
And just like in Family Guy, you can keep a family of birds in it too.
Is this something you're planning
Well,
on
I've never
trying?
gone beyond the 2-month mark, but I believe it's entirely possible.
So, John, how about that local sports team?
They're doing pretty good this season, I hear. They've made 3 runs and 4 passes to a down thing.
They've got a lot of gumption.
Their
yes.
field goal slugging percentage is really awesome.
See, this is why we don't report on sports news here.
Well, you losers.
Or sports games.
Yeah.
Their ERA per down is really low.
I've actually got an ESPN Zone app on my iPhone.
What isn't there an app for?
We discussed this earlier.
Yeah.
Well, the UK recently verified that saying there's an app for everything and only on the iPhone is totally true and legit. So obviously there's an app for everything.
Okay. Well, let's get on with the real news.
Wait, I gotta order some pizza from Pizza Hut.
Or are you going to log
There's
into
not a
Warcraft?
Papa John's app, which I'm kind of annoyed at.
There's
Yeah.
a Papa John's website.
There is a Papa John's mobile website, actually, specifically for mobile devices.
Well, there you go.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like Papa Murphy's.
No, because then I have to truck my ass out there to get the
Well,
pizza.
you got to go pick it up, but it's a much better pizza when you're done.
Well, maybe if I'm still trucking my ass out there. It
Well,
kind of
maybe you should
defeats
have a
the
talk
purpose.
with your ass.
It kind of defeats the purpose of me being a lazy son of a bitch.
You can be half lazy.
Welcome to the Pizza Podcast. All pizza all the time. We're going to
Pickle.
discuss thin.
Hey, that's a
we're go-
spicy pepperoni.
Pickle.
Would you stop with the pickle? I mean, really.
Pickle.
All right.
Hey, Daddy, when you gonna eat that pickle?
Pickle.
All right. So our first news: Rock Band to allow independent artists to add their own songs.
Yeah,
gonna
and rock
integrate,
band fans to be allowed to not care.
Yeah. Next, they're gonna integrate MySpace and
Yeah,
Don't give them ideas.
you can pull
It'll be
people's songs off
interesting
Facebook.
See what they're going to charge for that. Have they announced? Because I mean, if the indies can release their songs for less than it costs to buy a standard music pack,
Yeah, but would you
Especially
want to
if
buy
demo.
their music?
if you get the chance to demo it first and hear the song,
Yeah,
Really
it's still
cheap way to go.
they're still going to be stuck with the same problem they have on MySpace. There's going to be 1 million indie bands that are putting their stuff up there, and you're going to be like, oh, shit, I don't want to sort through all this.
it'd
Where's-
be pretty cool to be able to go to a local concert though and get the "Please download our song for Rock Band" flyer afterwards.
Yeah, but they did it with MySpace. It didn't really help people either.
Well, MySpace doesn't really give you the chance to give them money.
Well, but it allows you to demo the songs, and then if they have downloadable stuff through CD Baby or iTunes, to buy it through there.
Yeah, but how much money?
That's just the same. Word is awesome.
How much money does EA get to keep in all this?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
And how much does Microsoft get to keep?
That's true. And how much do you get to charge for your song?
You get a pretty good amount of money from iTunes if you sell off iTunes. I just want to mention that.
Really?
Yeah, you get like $7.90 per CD sold on iTunes.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I
Which
guess
is
they're cutting
ridiculous.
out.
right?
What's that?
You get like 70%, right?
Yeah, it's like
How that's split.
ridiculous. It's
Well,
like
that's about what it
unprecedented.
costs to press the CD.
No,
Manufacturer.
It costs a lot less than that. To me,
No. You didn't let me finish. To press the CD, manufacture the label, the PR, and then actually have it shipped
Mostly
and
it's-
distributed.
It's mostly the PR is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what costs the
You're
most money.
saving all that money, so sure.
Economy of scale is pretty darn good with making CDs these days.
Yeah. So next up, Dragon Quest IX DLC coming out, which interests no one probably.
What the hell's it doing on our podcast?
Can you buy Dragon Quest IX in the U.S.?
Not yet.
Oh, it's good. There's DLC for it then.
Yeah.
I do have a copy of Dragon Quest VIII I haven't opened, but
and new content will be added each week for a year, according to Square. That's a lot of DLC.
That's a lot of playing Dragon Quest.
Yep.
which means
So
they're
are they
just
gonna
really
try
charging
and,
you up the ass for stuff that's probably already on your CD.
Yeah.
Well, it's on a DS cartridge,
yeah.
so you're gonna need to buy a couple SD cards for it.
Awesome.
Are they going to manage to outcharge Idolmaster? Because I think that one is the current reigning king of
Well,
most ridiculous cost for all DLC.
yeah, Namco's pretty bad about that type of thing. Oh, and the game got a perfect score in Famitsu too.
Shocking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a big shock.
How do they do it?
Next time we'll see, a perfect score for a Super Mario or a Zelda game.
I think I actually get more interested in Famitsu scores when they're like a 39 out of 40.
Yeah. They're like, why did that one guy not give him 1 point?
Well, it's just
Now
that
I've got
one
to try
guy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah. How come, what's with the 1 point?
Yeah, he's contractually obligated to give a 9.
Yeah.
I think he's just racist.
He was bribed by Nintendo to give
Yeah.
9.
It's like you didn't.
He's
play
a
this
game
game.
racist.
Ooh, and the judge from Kyushu gives him a 9.
So next up, Valkyria Chronicles 2 announced, which would interest probably me. And have you played the game yet, Brian?
I started to. I haven't spent a lot of time on it, but it's pretty. It's a neat game.
It's a hard game.
Got a heavy learning curve, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, but character design's not that good. Just
What
thought
are
I'd
you
add
trying to
that.
say there?
Well, there aren't a lot of women in Valkyria Chronicles 2,
You know it's in the
and
middle
they're
of a
not
war,
wearing
right?
the short skirts, and the
Well,
Not
they are
enough
Valkyries.
fan service for you.
They are
is what you're
Valkyries
saying the
after all.
problem
They
is.
probably should be in the war,
Yeah.
being their Valkyries and all.
More panty
Not a lot of
shots in
male
your World War
Valkyries
II
out
game.
there.
it's not.
What are those Valkrons?
I don't know. I think they call them Vikings.
Oh, okay.
So you are correct. Not enough fan service, but that's just me.
Well,
It is
no.
on the PSP. I mean, you kind of get pointy there.
Yeah,
Pointy.
pointy.
Like the first Tomb Raider.
Kinda. Little better.
But not much.
Think 3 more polygons.
Wow. 3 polygons.
Oh, that's stretching
hot.
it.
So, next up, Super Monkey Ball for your Wii Balance Board, which might interest you, Bri?
Fucking A, that'd be awesome. I love Monkey Ball. On a balance board would just make it even better. If
It
you've played
seems
any of the
very
Wii Fit games
appropriate.
on there, it's totally cool.
Although, when did Super Monkey Ball become like the doom for Nintendo? They just port it to everything.
Well, it's like an easy game to port to everything. It's something anybody can pick up and
Or I guess
Get
for
the hang of.
Sega, I should say.
So, Super Monkey Ball.
I think it's perfect for the board. They're always looking for stuff to use that board for. I mean, how they made a rock
I'm
climbing
surprised
game
they
that uses
didn't
it.
come up with a full-size ball attachment for it, which would be amusing.
Oh, you need a freaking room like a holodeck.
It would just roll in place like one of those old school optomechanical mice.
Yeah, yeah.
You need a giant set of pipes up there holding the ball where it swings on like a pendulum kind of thing.
So, next up, a banned PSN user sues for pain and suffering. Oh, geez, not this shit again.
In other news, people are
For
dumb.
what?
Yeah, people
Who
are
gives
dumb.
a fuck
People are
about
dumb.
home?
Maybe he'll like dump a pot of hot coffee in his lap while he's driving to court too. You know.
Yeah.
There goes
Just
McDonald's.
get it all in there.
Next.
So, new Xbox experience is August 11th, which apparently, let me read my notes here.
That's
Games on demand, friends list sorting, unlockable avatar awards, Netflix improvements, and premium avatar clothing, which, as you can guess, is probably not going to be free.
the hell's an avatar award?
I have
Premium avatar, implies paying for. That's what
Yes.
premium means.
How can they
Yeah.
make Netflix improve it anymore? There's
Well,
a
the
list of
download
movies
could
and
be
you click on it.
faster.
I
You
don't have
can
a problem
now
with it.
search on the 360 and add movies to your queue without
that's
having to
kinda
go to a PC.
Speed has never been an
Oh.
issue for me on.
Well, that's why I downloaded that app to my
Netflix.
iPhone.
You can also be in a Xbox Live party, and if everybody has Netflix, they can all watch a movie together.
That's kind of.
Oh, no, that's pretty cool.
They're minor improvements, but still useful.
Those are useful improvements, though, so definitely.
This should also be the update that gets rid of space bucks, so that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
And also, install game sizes decrease with the new one.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the performance, though, of most of the games. It's just
No,
the
but
size
they take
itself.
up less space.
Yeah.
So, a couple of nice
I still don't
benefits,
understand
something
the
to
getting
look
rid
forward
of fake money thing. It doesn't really make any sense from a business standpoint. I just don't get it.
Well,
to.
it's just
Maybe
going to
enough
make it
people
easier.
complained about not being able to figure out that 800 equals $10.
That's pretty much
Oh,
all it
wow.
was. Nobody else does that. The Wii and the
Well,
and
but-
PlayStation
but-
have
Well, the
equivalents.
Wii does.
No, the Wii is just $20 for 2,000 points. I mean, it's the same equivalent.
Yeah, but it's still points.
But it's still points.
Yeah,
The-
but you
the
could
point
sit there
having
and just go, I move a decimal point.
well,
and I know exactly
yeah,
what
but
it
you
is."
hello,
also-
American educational system and math.
You also can't buy 362 points, which for this, with the new Xbox update, you're supposed to be able to say that's $4.99. Here's $4.99, which is a pretty awesome improvement.
It definitely
No, right. I
beats
mean,
the-
it makes more sense from a consumer standpoint, but not from Microsoft standpoint.
You expected more raping.
Yes, the whole idea
Well,
of
they've been
having
doing it for so long.
the whole idea of having points is so that people don't feel like they're spending money. It's
Yeah.
not money; it's points. So I don't. get it.
And so they can't buy it in the same values as,
Yeah.
or denominations
Yeah.
and the stuff they sell things in.
I do like the fact that when you want to buy something, you spend exactly what you want to buy it, and you're not getting screwed over like PlayStation, where you're like, oh, I have 2 cents left in my account, which I'll never be able to use.
There's nothing wrong with this idea. He's just amazed they're making
I'm,
such a
yeah, I
wholesale
mean, it's from a
improvement.
consumer standpoint, it's awesome. From a business corporate standpoint, it's a stupid idea.
I don't disagree. I think it is just like he was saying, though. There's been enough complaints because I've seen enough people bitch and moan about that and the fact that it's
Well.
confusing to have to think this and do this.
Yeah, but Microsoft's not exactly one that cares about people complaining about their products.
They might
so-
be more concerned now just that Sony has a PlayStation network that's pretty feature comparable in many ways now. They didn't used to before.
Not to
Yeah.
mention, they also
Competition might
give
just
you
be
the
getting
option
closer.
to download through your
Yeah.
PS3 to your PSP, and you can work between the two. So the more easier it makes people makes it for people to get stuff on their PS3. The more competition they're gonna have.
So the only other thing I wanted to add on this is that will I be able to get out of creating an avatar this time?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
Oh,
I
you
hope they
should
force
suck it
you.
up.
I hope they force you. They say you can't play your 360 now.
No more
unless
Shadow
you're-
Tars.
Unless you can't play your 360 unless you make an avatar now.
Or better yet, your friends get the chance to make your avatar for you if you don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
That would be pretty
Do we get
fun.
achievement points for that too?
Yeah.
Is that
You get-
part
you
of the
get
upgrade?
An avatar. You get an avatar or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So next up, Microsoft announces Halo animated miniseries. The only note that I have on that is it's made by a bunch of different animation studios, but Master Chief will totally be shown in. So
I doubt he gets to take his helmet off. And he can only do so many sparkles under a suit of space armor.
It's kind of weird. It seems like having all these different studios doing this makes it seem like none of them really wanted it. They all like said, "Well, I don't know," and everybody said, "Well." Then somebody had a great idea. Well, you have Studio IG going, "Well, I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of franchises that make a lot of money. I don't really know about a Halo anime." And some guy got the big idea. Well, Toei's gonna be involved, and they're like, "Well, if Toei's gonna be involved, and then these other guys too."
Maybe it's
Played
just
them all
a
against
I mean,
each
any
other,
one
you
of
think?
these studios could do it by themselves. So why are there 5 of them?
well, this early 2010 release date would be my clue for that. If you actually want to do the whole series and get it all done in a year.
A year or less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just 7 OAVs though. I mean, they just outsourced it to more Koreans.
that's true. How
Well,
much of this
apparently
animation is going to be done in
Microsoft hasn't
Japan?
figured out that Japan is just hiring Koreans to do all the work
So
for
so
them.
here's what happens. They farm it to 5 different animation studios, and then all those animation studios send it to the same Korean animation studio.
Yeah, they just sent it to the same little in-betweener place. and
Yeah.
There's 5 guys with mechanical pencils.
And it's like another Halo order.
And
Yeah.
a monkey on the typewriter.
Yeah.
Hey
Kind of
Kim, can you
reminds,
work on that cell over there? We need more paint for the flood.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder how tightly bound the story is going to be, or if this is going to be kind of Animatrix
I'm
again.
I'm thinking either Animatrix or probably like Batman Gotham Knights or something like that.
Well, did they say anything about the writers or anything like that?
Nope.
No. All right. Well, it could be anything then.
Yeah. So it's they're making shit up. They got fanfics.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. They went to fanfiction.net.
Yeah.
and-
So get
Looked
get
up
ready to
Halo
watch
slash-
get ready to watch your Halo Bleach crossover.
Yeah.
Well,
Your-
first
it's your Mary Sue Halo hentai crossover with
Well, I hear the
Gurren
Master Chief
Lagann.
gives a good helmet.
Ugh.
At first, I thought this was a horrible idea, but then I figured this is about emotionally childhood scarred cyborg space marines, and then thought, well, no, Japan's pretty good at that.
So why aren't they animating Gears of War?
Because that's becoming a movie.
Really now?
Been back and forth for a while, but yeah.
well, they said about Metroid too. So
there
it
might be
just
too
came
much
up again
masculine in
recently.
Gears of War 2.
Really?
Well,
And it's kind of bloody.
Well, that's never stopped Hollywood before.
It stops Japan.
I
If
mean,
it's
the
animated.
Dom Phoenix, love thing just isn't going to sell too well.
Yeah. Plus, how many people want to hear fucking Dom in Dolby Surround?
well, I mean, it could be. Yeah, I mean, unless they make them bishies, then they'll be all about it.
That ain't gonna happen.
It's Japan.
Yeah, that's true. They could all be going to the
Anything could happen.
yeah, Marcus Phoenix and Dom could be going to the same cram school.
I don't find this to be an unthinkable outcome at all.
They're waiting to catch the train.
Yeah, they end up in a school club that's full of people killing aliens or something.
They leave the school and have okonomiyaki after their classes.
Yeah.
And every night at midnight, they have to go down beneath the school and fight the locusts.
Yep.
During the lost hour.
I could see that.
All the buildings of the school
It'll be like
are
Persona.
are in a certain arrangement so as to protect from the locusts.
All this and get their studies in.
All this in a harem show too.
Are there
do
any
they have
wo-
to kill the harem at the end?
The harem ends up being locusts.
Yeah, they're just wearing masks.
Except for one who happens to be the love interest. I can't decide between Marcus and Dom.
That's a hard decision.
I don't know. Ask her.
Yeah.
What's the Battle Royale influence?
Yeah.
And you find out her little sister has
But-
a crush on the same one.
By the way, all these ideas are copyright. Diehard Gamer
Diehard
Radio.
Game Radio.
All right. So,
That's funny
Get
shit.
up.
yeah, right. So while Steve is dying,
Yeah, well, you know.
And continues to do so in a hopefully non-infectious way.
shit. Should have said that before.
It's a lot to hope for, I know.
So,
I don't know. It's been like 2 weeks, so I can't imagine I'm very contagious anymore.
so Gran Turismo on PSP, which comes out before Gran Turismo PS3.
It's Prologue Part 2.
So,
I still see that in the stores, and it still pisses me off to this day.
is it still like 40,
You have
50
$5
bucks?
down?
Yeah, it's like no. I mean the prologue. The
Oh,
prologue
okay.
still. I've never seen it drop below 29, and I'm like, it's not even the full fucking game, and you're charging half of what the game is gonna cost, and then you're gonna charge full price when the game comes out. The prologue
no,
has
the-
no credibility
Dude,
against
the game's
it or
probably
rebate
going to be
against
like
it.
80 bucks.
Still, you're paying 30 or 40 bucks for a taste of the actual game, and it's maybe 1/50th of the content. Come on.
At this point, I wouldn't put it past them to put out Gran Turismo 5, now exclusively available in the new PS3 bundle.
The PS3 thin bundle.
Yeah. No, you saw that article too. The
Yeah.
European ad that kind of released the picture already.
Yeah, and
That was
So
kinda
Sony
one
funny.
German ad? Yeah.
Yeah.
and Sony's still denying it. It's like, nah, it's not thin.
Well, I
Stupid
really like
Germans.
that one bit of news they had where Sony was saying, hey, we've reduced the costs of PS3 production by 70%. We haven't dropped the price, so yay us.
Yeah. Why the hell would you do that? Totally backwards PR.
So next up, a soul-breeding PS3 game, Agarest Zero, has an awesome trophy. The trophy is basically when you complete all the guild quests and get all the titles in the game, you get the trophy of hikikomori.
That's awesome.
Everything I hear about this soul breeding thing, is this a hentai game? Does it just want to be a hentai game?
I don't
It's like
think.
they came up with a hentai name and they couldn't find the game to put it with. So.
And the
Just
hentai
one step
artwork
shy
too.
of witch touching.
I don't know, but a version of this game is coming out in this country.
Well, I mean, they're never actually hentai by the time they hit the consoles.
Well,
It's
that's
like they-
true. It's like hentai light.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, you know, you get
Self-touch.
well.
It's like it's like Fate's Stay Night for the Wii
well, except that's like a fighting game, I believe,
or something.
and
I
it's,
don't know.
it's like really bad.
Can't really
It's not
keep
even
up with
a
that frickin'
drama
thing.
title.
No,
That shit never does well on the Wii.
not that Fate Stay Night was a really good anime to begin with. It's kind of lousy. So,
Got a
What,
big following.
what was it originally?
It was one of those dating games, wasn't it? It was like a.
it was
fa-
like a, it
fantasy
was like a
dating
it was
game.
like a drama.
It was
game.
originally a hentai drama, and then they turned it into
Ah.
the safe
got,
for
like,
children
uh,
anime.
Yeah, and it got really popular.
or something.
and-
I don't really even know.
Well, needless to say, I'll definitely download.
some
I mean,
video
I'll
games or
definitely
some
get a
shit,
copy of Gran Turismo for the
I-
PSP.
I'm sure there's some hikikomori we can ask who follows all the stuff that Type Moon puts out.
It's like trying to figure out what the
I
hell.
mean, there's somebody
Futari Ecchi
geekier than
came
us
from.
we can depend on.
Possibly.
So what's the achievement? What's so special
Hikikomori.
about it?
It's a hikikomori achievement.
Yes.
What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, we've used. Steve, you want to jump in here?
Why is this
Take it
so?
away.
Okay, imagine Pasty during the week, except his whole life is how he is during the week, and then he doesn't go to work, and you never see him, and he goes out at 2 in the morning to go grocery shopping, and
he
he's
lives-
Japanese.
Well, I remember reading something. They're talking about the fact that he would have to spend every
Pasty
waking
live with his
hour
parents?
in front of the TV. to
Imagine
get
if he
this.
lived with his parents.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's hikikomori. There's actually an interesting article on Wikipedia.
The Wikipedia article for hikis is actually pretty darn extensive.
But has it been written by actual hikis?
Well, perhaps.
Yeah, but
I'm
what's the
not
point
sure.
value of it? The
Prob-
achievement.
Well, probably the same value
it's a
as an
trophy.
actual hikikomori, so it's probably 0.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a PSN trophy, so they don't have point values.
They do have levels like bronze, silver, and gold.
Yeah, that's right. They don't.
So
have the same
hikikomori is probably somewhere
monetary
below
achievement.
bronze, possibly tin, or some Japanese
Platinum.
metal. Well, no, platinum would be above gold. It'd have to be something that's less than tin.
In between the two, like nickel.
Cubic zirconium trophy.
Yeah.
At first, you think it's worth something.
Well, it's
the-
an origami paper trophy.
The hikis have become so much of a social thing now. They're actually a character archetype in manga.
Stepping back a title or a topic here, I would definitely buy the PSP version of the Gran Tourismo because I know it's coming out and I know what it's going to cost.
Yeah,
and
you know it'll
There's not gonna
exist
be
on
a-
the shelves at some point in the future.
Yeah, there's not going to be a $15 prologue of it.
It's not a
you
ghost
don't care
game.
how long they make you wait. You're still gonna buy it.
The PSP one, yeah. I don't know about the PS3. That's
It might not come out for the PS3. It might come out for the PS4.
Well, the PS3 does have that
Ask
10-year
Crystals,
cycle.
Here we go.
I love the fact that every time it comes up, they're like, "Well, we're making a great game, and it just
Yeah.
takes time to perfect." And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
you can
Yeah,
only
tell
use that
that to the
excuse
fucking
so
Forza
many
2.
times. Yeah, I know. It's like, well, somebody else came out with 3 games in the time it took you to come out with 1.
And Forza
Forza has actual car damage.
and Forza 3's been getting some pretty good buzz so far, from what I heard.
Well, it's not like there was anything wrong with Forza 2 either.
You have Forza 2.
Yes, I have a steering wheel too.
He also has a real car.
2.
That has damage on it as well.
Well, one of them does, yeah.
You get a
That's-
trophy
was
for
on-
that.
No,
No.
I just get to pay extra if I want to get it fixed.
Damn it!
Oh,
It's just not right.
If I entered into a race and won, then I get a trophy. Yeah, but then I probably blow the engine too.
yeah.
In the end, the trophies are just not worth it.
Yeah.
Hey, heed, boys and girls.
A lot of
Especially
trouble to
the
go through to blow an
Hikikomori
engine.
trophy.
So next up, Star Wars Force Unleashed re-release with DLC built in. Which, does anyone have any
I
interest in
actually
Star
own
Wars?
a copy,
was-
which kind of sucks because they're
Yeah.
not going to sell the DLC.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
See, I almost bought a copy of this game about 2-3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then this popped up, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, I should just
I
fucking
saw the
wait. I've
thing
waited
was
this
on,
long. I can wait."
it was this was a Comic-Con announcement,
Yeah.
and I saw it on G4, which had a very, very good coverage of Comic-Con. this year.
Comic-Con was actually awesome on there. That's where I saw the Robot Chicken Tour thing too, which I didn't really pay
And
attention to.
the little trailer thingies that they were running for this particular thing looked pretty damn cool.
So are you going to pick it up?
The other thing that sucks about this
I haven't bought the other
is
games, so maybe.
the Jedi Temple DLC was the sale of the week before they made this announcement.
Oh, that's
Ah.
awesome.
Pretty mean.
Womp, 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 womp.
And you think they're not trying to make money?
Well, I think,
they're doing it.
Well,
all
I think
right.
LucasArts is trying to make money. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's got Lucas right in the name.
Yeah. Needless to say, somebody's gonna be picking this up around Christmas.
So has anyone picked up any of the LucasArts games out of curiosity off Steam?
For the adventure game re-release bit they've done?
Yeah.
Which is just the
No.
Monkey Island stuff.
Oh, just
now.
Monkey
I
Island
think
right
that's
now.
the only one so far.
I watched Roger play the demo or part of the demo of Monkey Island. It looked like Monkey Island,
The new one or the remake of the old one?
a remake of the old one.
Okay.
Hmm. So next up,
It looked
made
like Monkey Island.
well.
Just want to make that straight, folks.
So Steve does like his Monkey Island.
I'm not really into Monkey Island.
I just
Like,
actually wanted to
John
say
likes
Monkey
his
Island. Okay.
I just played the first one a while back. It'd be hard for me to want to pay money for it, though. Scum works pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of treading on water that's been tread on for a while now.
And sure, they add new stuff, but I'm not at all convinced that voice acting adds anything to the old adventure games. Having people actually read some of those lines can be pretty fucking cheesy.
Well, yeah.
So next up, we have Matrix Online shutting down. It shut down end of July, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that a
Nothing
lot
of
of people.
value was lost
Yeah.
ever since Sony Online Entertainment took it over. It was downhill for like 4 years.
So-
So,
You see that, Mr. Anderson? That's the sound of inevitability.
yeah. Once SOE bought it, it was inevitable.
So how many MMORPGs does SOE still have that are up and live?
They have
Other than-
EverQuest.
And that's it.
Star Wars Galaxies is still up.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Nobody plays it, but still up. there's some diehard people that still play that game. Apparently, I'm like, what? Really?
Are
Well,
they
that-
still running the original EverQuest and EverQuest 2?
I don't know if they're running EverQuest 2 anymore.
Really?
I don't know.
So they shut down EverQuest 2, but still run EverQuest?
Well, I don't know.
Oh.
Remember, EverQuest 2 had that whole really rough launch. Remember, where
Oh,
like
yeah,
nobody's system could run it.
yeah. Oh.
There was that whole penny arcade thing where that people were bitching that reviewers got free RAM. So
Ah.
512 megs of RAM they got for free.
Wow, that
Wow.
was back when that was actually some quantity of RAM that mattered.
Yeah, apparently.
There
Well,
was a
and the
time-
other thing was about EverQuest 2 was I'd never played either EverQuest or EverQuest 2, but the art style for EverQuest 2 was trying to go this really realistic direction. Kind of looked like ass.
Ah.
No, reality sucks.
Yeah, well, they were trying to get like lineages doing that Ion game, by the way. I don't know if you have any news on it.
Oh, AION. Yeah.
It apparently it's Lineage 2 with pretty graphics and you can fly.
Oh.
Well, that covers
Microtransactions
Korea,
everywhere.
man.
Yeah, it is Korean. Yeah. Microtransactions everywhere.
Any Jumpgate news? Speaking of
They're still running closed beta. Release date's still end of September.
Okay.
So I'll really hear about it. Star Trek Online. Matt actually shuttles me the links to the IRC chats that happen with the devs every week, and
what are they doing chatting on IRC?
I don't know. I thought it was kind of very old school. I'm like, while I applaud this, I'm kind of confused at the same time. And they were talking about some other stuff. There's not a lot of really hardcore details, though. There was a couple of hints of there actually being capital ships in the game towards the end that the players can use.
Huh.
Like
But
carriers.
aren't they all capital ships in Star Trek?
Well, the Federation, they're all capital ships. The Federation, well, they had kind of fighters, but they don't ever really use them. They have to flesh it out a little bit, so they have smaller ships and stuff.
So you have
Oh,
some
you're
place
thinking
to
more
start.
like
Rust
Deep
Bucket.
Space Nine.
They got like skiffs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You
You
don't
can
get a
start out
Galaxy
your
class.
shitty ass shuttlecraft.
Yep, you don't get to start in your Galaxy class starship.
Can't even start as a lowly crew member on a Galaxy class starship.
No, because everybody's a captain. Because
Oh, that sucks actually.
it's kind of a pain.
Can't start out as a red shirt.
Well, the problem is it's the perennial problem with MMOs is that everybody's got to feel like they're fucking Captain Kirk, otherwise they don't play.
Puzzle Pirates didn't make you do that. You actually had a ship with a crew, and people had different positions and responsibilities in battle. That's a fucking Flash game.
The old text muses had the same thing, but it just doesn't work with MMO kitties. I'm sorry to say, but
Well, I don't
it
want
doesn't.
kitties in space. Saying.
Eh.
Space cats will be bad.
Moving on. Ubisoft working on a new anti-piracy tool, which sounds really awesome because apparently they think that the reason they weren't selling a lot of
Games was due to piracy. It's always
Well, the-
piracy. That's
well,
a great fallback, isn't it?
Here's it's a specific type of piracy. They're thinking it's a 50% drop on their DS games, and they're blaming piracy,
Well,
not
there's a
due to
new
the fact
R4
that they
out
come
that
out
already-
with well,
They came out right after the DSi did.
and it has nothing to do with the fact that they come out with games like Imagine Babysitting, Imagine Figure Skating, Imagine Barefoot and Pregnant.
Imagine making some fucking money.
Yeah, imagine not making a crappy game.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was imagining.
I actually find that kind of bizarre because you'd figure the casual game market would be the one least likely to pirate your shit.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I
Particular
don't.
on the DS.
No, it's always piracy. Don't you know? Our sales are down. Damn it, it's piracy.
Those casual gamers pulling down their DS game.
There's a
Yeah.
there's a proven mathematical formula for this. It's the amount of money that you think you were going to make with the game minus the actual amount of money that was made for the game equals the amount of money
Divided
you
by
lost
the-
to,
divided
to
by
piracy.
divided by the amount of money you expected for the game gives the percentage that was actually pirated.
Because I could totally believe that, like Crisis, that probably had an 80% piracy rate.
Probably.
But Imagine Babies?
Yeah, I'm really thinking not so much.
Yeah, or Spore, which had a 100%. No wait.
No, the only people that could play Spore properly were the ones that downloaded it and pirated it. So.
Well, except
'cause
that
they
wouldn't
wouldn't
get
fix
any of
it.
the online stuff.
Well, who cares?
Yeah.
You got a
Most
game
people
that
played
worked.
that game for about 4 days and then never played it again.
I was so psyched about it until it came out, and I lost all interest. And I don't know why. I still haven't figured
you know
it out.
why?
and I
Because
never
everybody who
spent any
did a
time
review on it went, huh.
Kind of shallow.
Yeah, that was every review I read about Spore was, huh. Well, weird creatures.
I'm still looking forward to picking it up because I want to make some weird creatures.
Well, you could have just gotten the creature creator before it came out.
Or you can have a
I
child.
suppose. That's a lot more effort.
Yeah, it's a lot
And
more
you
work
can't just
involved.
add limbs.
Yeah. Well, you can, but it's hard.
It requires a staple gun, but you can.
Requires, implants of radioactive substances.
Ah. You don't happen to have any radioactive isotopes laying around your place, do you?
Damn, used them all up last week.
He refuses to answer the question on the grounds that it may incriminate myself.
You never know what the NSA is watching these days.
May cause them to glow and unexpectedly.
So, next up, we have our semi-regular feature of Care or Don't Care.
What the fuck is this?
This is our semi-regular thing.
Oh, I don't care
So,
about that.
so
Ah.
So this is where Murdock gets lazy and decides he doesn't really want to have to figure out whether or not these things are news.
Well, right.
well, you've done that before, though.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, okay. So, Yakuza 4, now with rabid fan base.
What,
That wasn't
what,
coming out over here.
what were Yakuza
Well,
1, 2, and 3?
Yakuza, what was it, 3 was not going to come out here because Sega's like, well, the market's not here. We don't have a market for that game.
What is this
Where'd
game?
the market come from then?
I don't know.
Is
what
this
were they
like a
hiding?
strategy game or what is
No,
this?
Yakuza 4 is kind of like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh.
It's
some
it's
extent.
action adventure.
Is it
Yeah.
actually sandboxy or no?
I believe it's actually sandboxy,
Uh,
but it's
There's some
mostly
linear
you
stuff
go
in
around
it,
and
but-
punch people in the face rather than shooting them and stealing their cars.
well, that's
You
what
get
I
to
did
use
most of the time in
weapons, too.
GTA 4 was running around and punch people in the face. It's a lot
Yeah,
more
but
fun
you
when
don't
they
have
run
a combo
away. after you punch
system
them.
in GTA 4.
Well, I
It's
suppose
like the
not.
Japanese Godfather. It's
Eh.
It does apparently have a hostess simulating portion.
Well, shit. There was that little orgasm simulator in shit. What was that game? Saints Row 2. That was pretty funny.
What?
It was a mini game. If you find the right stripper, you go into this little back room with her, and you have to get her off by doing this little mini game with the controller. It's awesome.
Do you unlock an achievement for that?
Yes, you
Did
do.
Did you have to turn the controller vertical?
It's awesome. You have to
to
find
move the analog in
you
just
use
such a way.
you use the two analog sticks, and the one has to be in the proper position, and the other one you have to move in a circle.
It's like unlocking a lock.
It's
in,
awesome. I was like, oh, this is the best mini game ever.
Is that like unlocking a lock in Fallout?
No, but much more enjoyable.
I'm
It's
sure.
really funny. It vibrates when you get to the right place.
Ah,
It's pretty cool.
okay then. So
Yeah, I really need to pick up a copy of some of these Yakuzas because when they come up, people are saying that these are like the best of the sandbox games. And apparently they put a lot of money into the first one. They got like big name voice talent,
There was a
localized
lot of
it,
PR for it, yeah.
and it totally flopped here.
what
And
what
so
system
on
did
the
this come
second
out
one-
on?
PS2.
Really?
I never heard of any of these games.
I've heard of Yakuza, but I never played it. It just didn't seem like something I would be interested in. So
So they did Yakuza, they did Yakuza
It's not a
2,
shmup, so
and then 3, which I think is already out in Japan
Yeah.
on the PS3.
hmm
Yeah, but then said they weren't going to bring it out here, and now they're waffling on
The
that.
cool thing about 3 was not the game itself, but they had a pack-in with the PS3, and it had an etching on it of the dragon tattoo
Huh.
for the game, and it's just a cool-looking PS3. I couldn't care about the game, but I thought the PS3 was really cool.
Sounds like it'd look attractive on the black.
And that was a neat paint job too. It was like some sort of off chrome looking, kind of like a Metal Gear Solid thing.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we kind of care about that game. or
Well,
at least John
let's do
cares.
this
Well, I
first,
mean,
though.
also, I mean, if it helps to indicate this one, going off and buying a copy on Amazon of the original, it's right up there at $50.
Wow.
So I mean,
Oh,
people still like this game and apparently aren't willing to get
So
rid
are
of
you
their
are you
copies.
planning on buying it?
I'd like to pick one up eventually. I keep going back there and looking at the price and going, well, I don't really want to buy a copy with no case or manual for $40.
When you can go to GameStop and buy that.
Like picking up Earthbound on the Super NES.
That game's like $80.
That's
What
just
the
always
fuck?
interesting when there's games that actually hold their value. Usually means there's at least something special about them.
Yeah. Or they were just really short printed.
Well,
All
I
right.
don't think that was the case with the first one, though.
So next up, Scribblenauts, now with heli backpacks.
This looks kind of interesting. I gotta.
There's
I'm
been a
curious.
lot of buzz on this game.
Yeah, so much hype. It's and the last thing I can remember they got this much hype was Little Big Planet. And honestly, this looks cooler to me than Little Big Planet did.
So, John, is this the game that you will buy a DS for?
Fuck no.
They
It
just
doesn't
hack
matter
it.
what they come out with it on. I just have no need for more than one portable system.
Mm.
None whatsoever.
So, are you going to pick up Scribblenauts, Brian?
We'll see. I'm gonna read some more about it, but it looks kind of interesting. It looks fun.
Yeah, I got a lot of positive buzz at E3. And,
I like the creative part of it. I think it's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, I haven't heard any bad things about the game yet. But it's, it doesn't require coordination, so it's considered a casual game. So I can't buy it because then I'll lose cred.
Wow.
If nobody else buys it, then can you pick it up? Because it'll be like a rare indie title.
Yes, then I can.
The meter goes totally opposite at that point, and then he starts to win.
I have a reputation to keep.
rising.
You do know that.
Where do you keep
I'm
it?
I'm very well respected in the video game community.
I don't know. Could have it hidden away as a room. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's in his
Is that like
glove
being the
compartment.
most, popular hikikomori at parties?
I mean,
Yeah.
what? Well,
There's such thing as a popular
hikikomoris don't go
hikikomori.
to parties.
Yeah, as I say, that's like an oxymoron.
A hikikomori party is just like everyone in the corner doing nothing.
Point proved.
Well, a hikikomori party's a chat
It's like
room.
a 7th grade dance.
The
Nobody
girls
goes
on
over and
one
asks
side.
anybody else. Yeah.
Well, that's assuming there are female hikikomoris.
Yeah.
So next up, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, which you brought to my attention,
Yeah,
Brian.
I already put my pre-order down on this one.
When they get to Ninja Gaiden Sigma 6, is it a G.I. Joe crossover?
Quiet you.
Could be.
Now, didn't you pick up Ninja Gaiden 2?
I have all the Ninja Gaidens.
And you're picking up Sigma 2, even though it's essentially the same game.
Yeah, it's got more stuff added to it. And
Okay.
they're releasing a pack. I think it's the same price too for the extras that come with it.
Okay.
It's got a soundtrack and a book and a few extra other things.
Did-
I think it's gonna be a neat packing.
Did you ever did you ever finish the second one?
No.
It's fucking
I
hard.
don't blame you. Not because it's hard, just because it didn't look like much fun.
It's a
It
okay
depends
game,
on if you
but
do well with combos. You got to learn the
yeah,
combos.
but it's like it's Ninja Gaiden, so the difficulty more than anything is the thing that got me to stop playing
the curve. Yeah, midway through the game, the curve goes radically hard. It's a hard game, but it's
Yeah.
just fun and it's pretty open. You can create a lot of combos and do a lot of things in a wide open space.
I mean, I
and
got
bounce
halfway
off
through the game,
walls.
and then after that, it's like, okay, this is getting really annoying.
It turns more than old school hard. That's for sure.
Still not as bad as Shinobi, though, right?
Nothing's as bad as
Oh, man.
Shinobi.
Shinobi was painful, but we loved it. I played
No,
the shit out of
yeah.
Shinobi.
Did not.
Even the
know.
one, even the live action one, I still played the crap out of. I love
the
that game.
PS2 one.
Yeah, the PS2 Shinobi.
The Saturn one, I think, was the best.
And yeah, that. Oh, Shinobi Legions?
Yeah, I love that.
The one with the rendered
yeah,
with the rendered
it was the
Joe.
Joe Higashi.
Yeah. Oh man. So Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, Brian cares for. Everyone else is kind of eh. Scribblenauts, everyone's kind of like eh.
Well, like I said, I'm
So-so.
totally excited about it. I'm just not willing to buy a DS.
Okay.
So I really
Yeah.
hope they port it to something else.
Probably not.
I don't know. You've seen a few things go to PC after they've done well on console
might
or
go to the
portable.
Wii.
So
And I could see myself eventually owning a Wii.
Like a
once
WiiWare.
we get around to dropping the price on that fucker.
Yeah.
Nintendo, Sony, both of you, you suck.
I think you're gonna see a
Yeah.
price drop on the Wii before you do it on the PS3.
You already own a Wii. Oh, you mean the game system?
You mean the other games?
Boo.
Yeah, you're about 6 months too late for that one. That's the American version of goal.
When I watch soccer, I actually do go boo like that. So Oh, sorry, not soccer, football. Next up, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, which would interest
I'm definitely picking that up. I liked the first one a lot. It was, like,
Steve.
a
Any
multiplayer
interest in
game.
Marvel superheroes?
Kinda.
Think
Got
more-
through about 3 levels of co-op on the first one before went no. So the
It's
second
really
one,
a fun game with 4 people playing it. It's one of those ones where you want to get a lot of people playing it because it's just much more fun. The same with Little Big Planet. Alone, it's good to a point, but you get multiple people on there, it gets hilarious.
as it keeps coming down with me for all of these kinds of games they make. I'd still rather play Hunter the Reckoning.
You heard it here first. Someone actually likes Hunter the Reckoning.
It's the best co-op console game that's come out in a decade.
Contra was a good console co-op game, wasn't it?
I like Contra.
Yeah.
Some were good, some were hard, some were just bad. But
Shattered Soldier was okay.
No, it wasn't.
that was a hard fucking game.
That's a really, really hard game.
Or no, it was
You
Neo
don't like
Contra that
Contra.
was the top-down one that had the
yeah, Neo
decent
Contra was
two-player
okay.
one.
Shattered Soldier was god awful.
Shattered thumbs.
Hard.
Oh. All right, so only you really. So it's more Brian cares about.
But
these
I've got
games
friends that
anyway.
are gonna pick this up too.
Oh,
That
that's
I know I
true.
can play with online. So
So Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker. Anyone care about that?
I lost track of how many of these.
I after
I've
Metal
got
Gear
4
Solid.
at home and I still haven't played it.
There's nothing to play.
Yeah, once
I
you
never
sit-
went through
someday when you went
3.
around,
I don't
some-
even know why I bought 4 because I never even went through 3.
someday when you want to sit down and watch a movie, put in Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, no kidding. Seriously, it's like, wow, this is a really great game with, you know how you used to have a game and it would break for some, rendered footage? Well, this is the other way around. It's a bunch of footage,
It's like a
and there's like
Japanese
little
RPG.
games every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you're paying attention.
Hey, have a mini game break.
Pretty much.
Huh?
Let's all go to the lobby, play a mini game.
Pretty much. Yeah. There might as well have been dancing hot dogs.
Yep.
You know that Let's All Go to the Lobby is now public domain. And you can actually watch it on YouTube. I've been
Because
looking-
YouTube requires public domain footage.
Well,
It
no,
could
I
not
mean-
possibly be on YouTube if it is not in public
Well,
domain.
no, I'm just,
Oh,
you
can
know,
watch a
I
Web Soup too.
I follow, the theatrical snipes, and it's kind of weird.
You know, WebSoup was okay, but Tosh 2.0,
Oh,
I haven't watched that yet.
I enjoy that show a lot.
people need to stop ripping off his soup, damn it. 'Cause they can't do it right.
Well, because the soup hasn't done it right since John Henson was on it.
Oh, you mean Talk Soup? Hey, Greg Kinnear was pretty funny.
Well, now they
too.
just call it the soup.
Oh, the soup is what it
Yeah.
is now.
'Cause it's not just talk show and soap operas anymore.
Yeah. John Henson was really good on Talk
He was
Soup, but
hilarious.
I haven't liked it since
I
he got
enjoyed
done doing it.
watching Wipeout. He makes that pretty funny.
All right. So next up, no interest in Metal Gear Solid, so we obviously don't care. So Shadow Complex, which is Metroidvania on the Xbox 360.
It's neat. I
That-
like it.
I got it kind of. I've got halfway interest in it. It looks kind of up my alley. I may wait see if there's going to be a demo available.
It's a side scroller of the type you like.
I watched a 10-minute behind the scenes thing on it. It looks pretty cool. I don't know. It's a question of how much it's gonna be too when it comes out.
I think it's 1,200 Microsoft points, or is it 15?
Yeah, it's, not
It's
gonna
above
be
8.
15.
It's probably 12 then.
Yeah. Brain
mean-
was pushing it.
I mean, I did look at how it was played, and I saw the developer playing it. It had a huge Castlevania style map in it, so it does look interesting. So I don't know.
Might
Well,
appeal
report
more to
back
us.
once it comes out.
I'll probably play the demo and see if I like it,
Yeah.
and then kind of go from there. I think it's going to boil down to the control and see how well it controls, and go from there. All right. So next up, a shiny, sparkly Twilight MMO, which
the guys walking around Comic-Con with signs that said "Twilight ruined Comic-Con."
so
Apparently
why?
there was a bunch of people camping out for information on the Twilight MMO, and
Yeah, there was a bunch
it
of
screwed
Twilight.
up other shows that were going on or other announcements or conferences.
There was a bunch of Twilight shit going on Comic-Con.
Yeah, it pissed a lot of people off apparently.
So remind me again why Twilight's popular.
Because it appeals to teenage girls. That's really all it takes.
Bloodbath and Beyond.
Pretty much.
So Twilight MMO. So
At what point, Murdock, did you think that any of us would care about this?
I know you don't care about it. I added it for humor value.
Oh, I see.
You failed.
Maybe next week.
What's that last one?
So the last
It's
one,
not Twilight. That's I'll tell you that
What is
much.
this? R-type testicles too? Oh, tactics.
R-Type Tactics 2, which is called Operation Bitter Chocolate.
It's like a Pocky that you just have to play to understand.
Although I did read that I think it's supposed to have co-op, so you can play against each other.
Is it also going to be on the PSP?
No,
As far as I
co-op-
know, yes.
Co-op, typically you don't play against each other.
Yeah, you normally play with each other
Oh,
against
well
something
then-
else.
It's something else.
But that would be versus.
Well,
But close.
So
Versus
far,
might be interesting
Co-op
too.
would be really fucking cool.
You had a
because that game was
50% chance
hard.
of being right. So
Yeah, it's one of those.
Co-op
far
would be better
the,
than versus, I think.
Only bit of use I've gotten at R-Type Tactics was making a little model.
Yeah, the little
So-
pack-in models.
Isn't the tutorial for that game like 5 hours long?
Game's hard. Why? It shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, we are talking R-Type here, one of the hardest shmups ever made.
It's one thing. when-
Turn-based tactics game, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they.
it's still going to be hard.
Oh, boy.
I mean, the easiest R-Type is on an arcade and it never came out on a home console.
John's right. When you get tired and you turn your system off, at least you can turn to your little R-Type and play with it.
You're a little R-Type.
Your little was
Might as well
the
just blow it up
R9.
in real life. I mean, come on. Save yourself the trouble.
I didn't put that one together. I left it sealed because I've already got two of them from the Gashapons that I can look at. But you know, can't say I wasn't tempted.
So, are,
Cool.
do you have any interest in this? I mean, doesn't
Depends on when it gets rated. Because man, I spent a lot of time on the first one getting my ass owned, and I wanted to really enjoy that game, but it's hard.
and when
And I
it's-
like turn-based games,
but if
boy,
it's that hard, then
yeah, when you get beat down every time you go out there to play it, it's just
you're
like
gonna have to go onto YouTube and see like strategies, just how to play the game and beat it.
I didn't know there was any for this one. It's that hard. Nobody was like, "Oh Jesus, I can film this," because they would just waste a lot of film, or they just have to they'd have to re-record a lot.
There's probably one specific way to do every level, and it's just trying to figure out what it is.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but God, it takes so long to go through a level.
Yeah, that's why I kind of didn't buy the game. I'm like,
I got halfway through the first one and felt like I was doing pretty good, and then I got my ass handed to me, and I was like, it's just so hard to go through a level.
And it
it's
gets
almost not
frustrating.
worth going through it again and again to try and figure that.
yeah.
that
So for
secret
this
out.
one, it's probably don't care. It's unless it's easier than the first one, which I
They
kind of
may
doubt.
make it easier. It depends. I don't know.
I don't see it.
It was
I
really
don't see
hard
it
in the
happening.
Japanese version. I don't think much changed when it ported over. So
Oh, and some additional news. I found this out today. Our good friends at Technosoft look like they're finally going out of business.
yeah,
There's a
so
form.
the IPs for sale.
Yeah, there's a form on their website where you can put in an offer for whatever IP you want. So,
So what
John,
would it take to pick up Urzog's 5?
that's what I was going to do. Do you happen to have a business license?
We can get one cheaply.
You could make an offer.
I think I paid $25 for mine last time.
Can
Yeah,
know
this is 10 or 12 years ago.
buy the rights, release it on Virtual Console,
That would be pretty awesome.
or Xbox Live.
I like the game so much I bought the rights.
How much does it actually cost to buy rights for a game?
As much as they will let you buy it.
Yeah, it's as much as they're willing to give it to you for. It's
I wonder if that's actually buying the old game as well, or just the rights to like the name or the IP.
Well, I would assume you would get the source code with that, wouldn't you?
what's it worth on a
Don't
new
know.
system though?
Depends on who developed it
And what they're actually selling when they.
And if they
Mm.
even still have the source code for it.
That's a good point too. The source code very well likely may not exist for such game anymore.
So I'm saying either Cave or Treasure, or even Konami. You may want to pick up the rights to Thunder Force. I'm just saying,
I don't think
keep the
that's a
franchise
question.
alive. I mean, Cave, be nice.
Oh, speaking of, they just showed pictures of the new Series 4 Gashapon Thunder Force from Comic-Con. Or not Comic-Con, but the Japanese one. It was pretty cool.
Oh, okay. TGS should be coming up soon here too. So that'll be interesting. And we are
Oh,
going to
yeah.
Comic-Con next year, right?
We were talking about it.
Okay. Well, if we do, we'll.
It's definitely becoming more game-oriented because comics sure aren't the big push anymore.
There were comics there.
Yeah. It's
You're-
kind
and
of
you're-
sad, but the
And
comic
you're not talking
book
about the hosts
sales
of
are
Attack of
dying
the
out.
Show, and not those types of comics.
Yeah.
Although Olivia Munn was pretty hot.
You know, I will say I'll reiterate what Steve said.
And some of her costumes, some of the costumes were not tailored properly for her.
Well, they
like Harlequin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Harley costume. That Harley costume was not flattering. In
Their
any way, shape,
coverage
or
of the
form.
show was impressive, though. They got a lot of good guest stars on there from things that were going on. You know, not just Seth Green, but people from the new movies and series coming out. It was pretty cool. They did a really good job this year.
Yep.
So, do we have anything else, John?
I want to know why Battlefield 1943 is taking 2 months longer than to come out for PC than it did for Xbox.
Well, they're doing research at actual Battlefield.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Maybe they
The
like
same damn game.
They're playing actual 1942 to get research for this game.
They didn't even redo the soundtrack. Soundtrack's the same.
Well, they're doing.
come on, pull one more out of your ass. Let's go. Come on. Magic ass, don't fail me now.
They have to. They have to. I got nothing.
You lost it, yeah.
Maybe they're trying to get the console players to stop playing it before their servers go down again for the next launch.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. Pain in the ass. God
And how badly
damn it.
do you want this game?
I just want to be able to, shoot at a bunch of hopping Japanese. Because they're not hopping Nazis in this one; they're hopping Japanese.
Really now?
Yeah.
So basically, they just reskinned the Nazis,
Well, yeah.
and it's taking them an extra 3 months to do this.
No.
Well,
It's the
Japanese
same
are
game.
shorter and they're
It's the same game. Now, Battlefield 1943 came out for Xbox last month, and it's going to come out for PC next month.
Well, look at the bright side. Maybe they'll
They
add
can
something
both-
extra to it.
What? It both happens. It's
Are you
on.
full of hot air?
It's a
What's your
live
problem?
game. They can't add anything to one platform that's not available on another platform. It
Well,
screws
they
up the
don't
game.
work with each
Yeah,
other.
they do.
Though. You can get on
Yeah,
a
they do.
console
They're
and
on
play with
live.
people on PC.
It's a Games for Windows. It'll be on live.
Well, it's one thing to be on live, but not all games work across platforms, though.
If they're live games, they do.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think the only one they've done that for has been Halo, and that one allowed crossplay. Didn't
Yeah.
it?
that's the only one that I know of too.
Well,
I
there's
think
not
that's
a-
the only one that launched on
yeah.
both platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like the other ones that would be like that weren't for live. Like Left 4 Dead isn't a live game. So the game's for Windows, but it's not a live game.
Huh.
Because like you hang out, you sign on to like you're playing frickin' Halo on the PC, and you get on the live, and you can do all the live stuff from that. So
By the way, Brian, I'm assuming you're going to pick up Left 4 Dead 2.
I'm debating on that. I'm still kind of ticked off. They're charging a whole new game for basically what's just add-on content. They're not changing the engine.
Yeah,
they're
there
just adding
seems to
few
be a lot of war
characters,
garble regarding that.
and they're adding new levels and whoop-de-doo. It's basically an expansion of the first one.
But
Yeah.
you're getting another game from Valve in less than 5 years.
well, that's
I
true.
mean-
That's not enough to cost another whole game price for me. Unfortunately, especially when I'm playing the same game I was playing with just a few new weapons and some new levels. I don't think that's... If you're going to come out with a whole new game, you come out with a whole new game. You get a new engine. You
Well,
sell
that's
it as
why-
a new game.
That's
This is
why
just an
Valve takes
expansion.
5 years to make a new game.
Well, maybe they should learn from themselves and take a little longer and put out a whole new game.
Well, then people bitch that they don't get new stuff from Valve.
Well, you put out
like
downloadable
a-
content for your existing game.
Well, they do.
You add
but
new
it's-
levels and
that's
new
what they do with
weapons.
Half-Life, but
Yeah.
Is your new Half-Life supposed to be coming out, or?
No, we're waiting for Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
Yeah. The third episode that never appeared.
Is
There's-
there,
1 and 2
it-
came
it
out
takes
fairly
the-
quickly.
By fairly, you mean like
Couple
2
years.
years
I
between.
thought it was a year, wasn't it, between the
Nah,
two?
it's
no,
a
it
couple
was.
years.
Yeah, it was a couple
No,
years.
that's their new, faster DLC release schedule.
Yep.
Tiny bite-sized content.
Yep.
Hey, at least they're faster than Blizzard.
Well, but it would be difficult not.
They're on par with Blizzard, really.
And Blizzard's making so much money off an existing game. Why would they spend so much on newer games? They're just not as much.
The
reason to-
subscriber numbers for WoW have been going down.
I saw WoW
Time
app
for
the
that new
iPhone,
expansion
and I
to
was just
come out.
laughing. I'm like, who the fuck wants to play WoW on an iPhone?
I bet lots of people want to play WoW. on
Maybe
their
those ones that are
iPhone.
leaving the PC.
There just was a new expansion like 3 months ago.
Well, I'm sure. Aren't they working on another one?
Well, maybe, but at this point, it literally is if you weren't level 70 at the time of that expansion coming out, you may as well just stop playing the game at this point.
Yeah.
What was the numbers for Eve? How are they doing?
Oh, every time I see a thing for them, they keep going gradually up.
Yeah, it's weird.
Never a lot
It's
up,
like
but
a
always up.
juggernaut.
Haven't they announced that they're like giving up on Eve now? And
They're doing
doing
White
Eve
Wolf.
2 or something?
Well, I mean, they aren't really. I mean, it's hard to say what they meant by their little thing. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, they're like, well, we're going to move our development efforts to this White Wolf game now, and you're like, okay, what does it mean? You know, does it mean you're not doing anything new for Eve? Or I think it's really funny that on Steam they'll let you buy Eve for $20. A game that
I
has a
take it you
free
get
client
free month
download.
for that.
I should damn hope so, because I can spend an hour and go to the website and get the whole damn thing for free. So maybe it's a download for people that don't know better. Well,
It seems dumb. However,
that's
they,
because it is.
they have been doing a lot of Eve advertising still. I mean,
Well,
it seems like they keep popping up on the game sites and keep
They
pulling
do.
people in.
They show up on
just saw the new
Slashdot still
commercial,
covers
yeah.
all their stuff.
Huh.
Every
They
time
just had
there's
a
something,
new full commercial for it on G4 the other night.
eh,
They showed one commander ramming one giant ship into another one.
which is ironic because there's no collision detection.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I was like, what?
Well, there
Are
is.
they adding that's
It's
so
just
new
there
to
are big
this?
soap bubbles that
Yeah,
bounce off
that
each
bounce
other.
off each other. I don't really understand what that's all about.
Hitbox? What are you talking about?
And well, it's and every time there's a thing on
And-
Slashdot, an announcement, it's like, well, what? Yeah, but what does the game look like? And then you have to have the whole long ass thread about how no, that's what the game looks like. Blah 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 blah. Although interestingly enough, there was something about they stopped supporting the classic client now. I think
Oh, so now it's only the new DX
whatever.
one, is it?
Yeah, no, I think it's the
Huh.
no. I think the new one's DX9.
Okay.
It tends.
The old one was like compatible back to 6 or something like that.
Okay.
So-
That was the one that people like to run who ran 3 clients simultaneously.
Well, yeah, and the one that worked with Sedega and all that stuff. So.
Okay.
I don't know if they updated so that the new client works with Sedega or not, or with Trans Gaming or whatever the hell they're called today.
That's got to look really good on DX11.
Well, they don't have a DX10 client, so
Oh, they don't even. They
It's a
haven't gone
DX9.
that far. Ugh. The game already looks good anyways because it looked good back when we were playing it, but
Hmm.
can only get better.
well, it'd be a lot better if it wasn't a spreadsheet game.
So, are you playing any MMORPGs right now,
Nope.
Steve? Okay.
I'm waiting
The MMO news
for.
desk is closed.
I'm just waiting for what you go. If you want the
Jumpgate.
if you want the MMO news desk, you need to be talking to Sorlak more often because that guy knows everything there is to know about MMOs that are coming out. But yeah,
So
I'm
like,
waiting for Jumpgate and Star Trek Online, which will be a long wait. But Jumpgate hopefully should only be a couple more months.
Are you playing any
I'm kind of
MMO?
interested in Jumpgate too. I'm not playing anything though.
You, John? Any MMOs or anything
They
that you're
don't
interested-
game on PC.
Oh, that's right. Did you ever get your internets back?
Well, this poses the question again.
When did I lose my internet?
You said you ran out of internet a couple podcasts ago.
Well, no, I just gotten to the end.
Oh, okay.
Which poses the question once again: why are there no MMOs on the consoles?
Yes.
Here we go again.
It makes no sense. You have already have people paying for a service. You could get them to pay more for it. But
And the
no,
best
think
we've
Sony
seen
was
is
trying to do
Fantasy
that and
Star Online.
failed.
which is not good. Well, yeah, and Final Fantasy
Star
11.
Universe.
Yes. Also not good.
No, not good.
Did someone finally kill a level 1 creature in that game?
Yeah.
They've been working on it continuously since launch. They have now killed that rat.
Oh, okay. It only took a party of 20.
Yeah. I do like that thing for what's his name, the business manager for Penny Arcade.
Oh, Robert.
Robert, yeah, where he's like they bought the Final Fantasy 11 and the hard drive for him on the PS2, and he played for like 4 hours, and he died once and lost a level, and then just never played again.
Oh, that's right. You lose experience points when you die.
Yeah, that's like old school MMO stuff. I mean, some games you still lose experience when you die, but you never go negative anymore. But some of the Korean MMOs, Dark Age of Camelot did that, where you could actually go negative on the level you were currently on. You died enough without gaining enough experience. It was really, really frustrating.
Because now they just make it so you earn XP slower.
Yep. Well, if that, you just like, oh, you died. Now you have to truck your ass back to where you were farming mobs.
Yeah. Or do, what you do in Warcraft and just, stay away from your computer for a day.
Do
Well,
any of
come
them
back to the
offer a
bonus bar.
hardcore mode where you die and you die?
Talking like Steel Battalion. You don't flip the
Steel
switch in
Battalion
time.
MMO.
Or Diablo?
Diablo had a hardcore mode like that.
Oh man,
I don't
that's
know.
awesome.
I imagine there must be one somewhere.
Like old school D&D.
None of the mainstream ones, though, as far as I know.
Well, it's not really a mainstream kind of game
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah. It is
Not if you want to keep your customers. It's not.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't keep your hardcore customers, that's for sure. After they got ganked a couple times by a 13-year-old that has no job and just spends all time,
What a
Grinding.
hikikomori?
Ikis love the MMOs.
Do they have MMOs in Japan? That isn't Hello Kitty?
They have Korean MMOs in Japan.
Yeah.
Most of them are like little
Final
Fantasy.
Yeah, and they
It's
have
a
Final
little race
Fantasy.
car MMOs, isn't it? Aren't
I
it?
don't know.
Little like Initial D, the MMO.
There's some
They
little
got a bunch of
Korean
strategy
one
MMOs.
that uses little mini cars that are like cartoony looking.
And bastards canceled the Shenmue one.
Oh, yeah.
Why would we need a Shenmue MMO?
There's-
really.
Because it's the only way we're going to
There's
get
an
more
Appleseed
Shenmue.
MMO that's kind of like Risk.
Shenmue, that makes no sense.
Hmm.
You wander around and do nothing, and maybe drive a forklift. That's
But
awesome.
you get to play on a Dreamcast.
Oh, oh yeah, the Dreamcast is old enough.
the Meta Dreamcast.
They're still making games for it.
God,
It's not the greatest game, but it was an indie
they're
shmup,
still
so
still
I'm
making
just gonna
games for the
support it.
Atari 2600 and the Jaguar. There's like a huge Jaguar mod community that's like making all these original games for the Jaguar. It's unbelievable.
Probably 'cause it's really easy to
Well,
program for.
I don't.
No
know
one
about
else
that.
loved them, so they have to love themselves.
Yeah.
Well, when you compare it to something like a PlayStation 3, yeah, I bet it's a lot easier to program for.
Well,
I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, odds
Wasn't
are.
that just like a 68,000 series CPU, except there was like 3 of them?
for the Jaguar,
The Jaguar.
it was something like that. It's
Some-
like
some-
that. The
Some
Saturn,
Motorola chip and had a couple
and
friends.
there was like the Saturn, which
Forget about
had
the
like
CD drive.
4 different chips or something like that. You had to program for each one. It was really weird architecture. It was very hard to program for.
Well, and Jaguar was all bizarre with its 32-bit CPUs and its 64-bit bus and system bus, and like, okay, well, that's pointless. Okay.
I'm big on expansion.
All right. Well, is that it for the podcast? Do we have anything else?
I think it's dead, Jim.
Okay. So no hella backpacks or
We covered
anything
that.
like that.
I don't think any of us has a hella backpack.
Steve might.
No. Where would I hide it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Closet, maybe.
Same place he puts his cred.
Oh,
All right. Well, I
Uh-huh.
guess that's it for the podcast. Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio.
join us next time when we. What?
Do
Where we get a
something with
sponsor.
rabbits.
We get a sponsor next time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Except the sponsor's been out of business since 1950, so we're going to be, advertising. We're going to be advertising stuff from like the 1950s.
Oh.
Industrial strength salve or something like that.
Support the war effort. Oh, wait. Try canned ham.
Diehard Gamer Radio is sponsored by Bleckman's Yeast. It's the dry yeast. There's the photo show.
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.